gotta go get shaved up and so, well, maybe so. I don't know about soaking, but shaved up and clean. Tired. Yeah. It's not natural for people to be in constant chronic pain and have nerve damage from chemical poisoning. That's not normal. It's not natural. I mean, it can happen. Like people living next to freeways, which we've had for shit. When did we come up with the whole automobile thing, guys? Was that like the 1930s? And then we started getting to where everybody had them in the 1950s. It's 2026, so that's probably 75 years now that we have the nerve damage and the chemical poisoning from the automobile. Right, 75 years. Before that, inefficient housing, everybody burning stuff to stay warm, piled on top of each other, So there's a lot of things that, we've done that are toxic and irrational because we don't live like King Solomon for a long time. Genetically, our sequencing is really thrown off because of the radical change from what's perceived as science and, science has made life so much better. Okay, live the Lord's Prayer. I don't want to hear it. Shut the fuck up. Shut up, shutting up. Shut up, rabbit. All right, so, somebody told me in my head, I swear it was Elon Musk, right? That, no, you got kicked off Facebook because Facebook couldn't control you with they have a voice, they have a system that has a protection system, right? It's got like a database protection system. And the system couldn't handle you. They couldn't stay in business and have community standards for money and conflict and murder over money if they had you in their system. Their system couldn't handle you. It would have got them killed by their own system because they're a threat to, so you can't have somebody on Facebook talking the way Parsons talks or the technology in order to protect people and children from people that won't live like Parsons talks. Will try to stop you. Will try to correct you. Will take over. I was like, wow, that's so cool. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Shish. You can't handle the truth, man. Isn't that cool? I think that's great. It's really great. The way I feel? No, the way you make me feel. They had a thing on there, the drugs. And they're like, if you're a schizophrenic, you need to take drugs. This could kill you right on the spot. It causes this. If it causes tingling in the fingers and the nuns, yeah, it's chemical poisoning. But sucks. It really does. But yeah, I sit there. It was weird because it's Earl. I'm the guy from the Bible, and so it's like, it's hard to believe. Jesus used to yell at me. I go, I can't believe this is happening. He goes, you sound just like your family. You better believe this is happening because it's happening, Earl. Shut up, Jesus. No, he does that to me all the time. He's like, Earl. Okay? They crucified me. They crucified Peter. They crucified Paul. They hunted down and crucified everybody. They betrayed Muhammad. They tried to kill Muhammad numerous times. They killed all of his male offspring. Okay? The Vatican and his own family poisoned Pascal. Ethiopians betrayed and murdered Haile Selassie. Okay? What do you mean you can't believe this is happening? Shut up, shutting up, Jesus. Okay. So it's really just basically things that bother you never bother me. I'm just happy and gay, living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time, right? So it's tiptoe through the tulips. And that's pretty much, it's like Earl. It's all part and parcel, the whole Messiah gig there. Shut up, shutting up, Jesus. Jesus is in the future. He's not in the past anymore. Okay. Guys, during Calvary, Jesus was resurrected and moved to the future. So, in the future, Christ has died, Christ has risen, Christ will come again, right? So, Jesus, whether it's resurrection, going to the clouds with the people watching Lou Ferrigno and Hercules, or whether it's going up there to kick Kate Benson's ass and get rid of her big giant wolf. Who's afraid of a big bad wolf? Or whatever, whenever, whatever, whoever. Jesus was crucified, resurrected, and moved to the future. No matter how you slice it. Okay, is that Jersey Mike's? It's a slicing thing. Okay. No matter how you slice it, it's Jimmy's John's. No matter how you slice it, Day of Giving. No matter how you slice it, right? That's the truth. That's the facts, right? He was crucified under Pontius Pilate. He was resurrected, and he was picked up by angels and moved to the future. Whether or not it was a bunch of crazy whack jobs from the Vatican and the Mormon Church doing it through a wormhole and in Victor Von Doom's space station. In Parsons Aeronautics, Parsons Aeronautics we trust. Whether it was that or whether it was like he was ascended into the clouds, like they did talk about with Muhammad in the Quran. He was ascended into the clouds and taken to the future to be alongside Jesus during the kingdom of heaven. So, if it was magic show with the people watching Hades rules, right? And I get the whole point. We see the future. Okay, you have fate worse than death. But Hades rules, right? Pegasus just blew your hair out. But do you guys get it? So if it's that, or if it's a science project that went really wrong here, something really wrong here, because Jesus wanted them to accept the Lord's Prayer, year one, and live it. I'll be loving you eternally. I like Roger Whittaker too. Okay, so either way it works, right? And so, I'm tired. And then you got all these people, well, why isn't Jesus doing this? Why isn't Jesus? Okay, guys, Jesus is the gracious good shepherd. I don't want to be moved to the future. I don't want to be stem cell research. I already told them that. Okay, I want to forgive debt and trespass, love one eternal, faithful peace. Alternate beach to Gila, Gila to beach. See how Earl's body and mind recovers without Wi-Fi bombardment while I'm sleeping, chemical poisoning while I'm awake, and being denied sexuality and a healthy sex life my whole life. And I turned 60 this summer. That sucks. And I had the best sexual reputation in the history of the U.S. Air Force. Well, I was also at Fort Bragg, so the whole U.S. military. Well, because Camp Lejeune was also there. So, what about the Navy? Oh, we don't want to go there. Okay. In the Navy, you can fuck a foreign hoe. In the Navy, you can blow your Uncle Joe. In the Navy, knock it off. Shit up, rabbit. So, this is in my pocket. It might... Oh. No, it's, guys... You're missing... I think it's the other side to the other side where Jerry put the thing in. I don't think I screwed it in. It's the panel. Yeah, so it's okay. You don't need to screw it in. It's just something that people do if they're excessive and compulsive, and I'm not. So therefore, I will have this, and I got plenty of screws. I got lots of screws in the flex thing that are the same size that are from the old air conditioner, except they're kind of jello, and this one is silver. Silver and gold. Hey, it's Burl Ives. Okay, do you understand? No. Hey, he does get killed on the Big Valley with Gregory Peck, and I don't know what the other guy, Charlton Heston's in that movie. Yes, he ends up with the snotty blonde. Is she hot? Nah, I was more attracted to the guy, the girl that Gregory Peck ends up with too. Personally, I'd go for Katie Gerardo. That's Gary Cooper at High Noon. I know, but was it Grace Kelly? Was she the blonde in that? Princess of Monaco? I'm not sure. I wasn't particularly paying attention. It's not one of my favorite movies. No, favorite movies. Earl's favorite movies. Sometimes, Father, you and I are like two old men. They're drunks trying to get past the finish line. Farther and farther. What movie are you talking about? Are they plastic? Are they steel? Are they false? Are they will? John Wayne's teeth, hey ya, John Wayne's teeth, hey ya. Okay, one of my favorite movies. What else? What else, Earl? I don't know, man. Don't force me here. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of movies. I do, but I don't know. Nah, I never really did. BRLFQs, it was mom and dad. I played a lot of video games with Patrick and Corey because, they were into them. Not addicted to them, no, not at all. No, it's just to connect to the people that are addicted to winning and stuff. Guys, I completely dominated in the earlier games. When they got the, what's the name of this thing? I haven't played defense because of the bugs they put in it to make it cheat on 2013 and 14. I like 14's gameplay better than 13's. But, yeah. All I play with is the Maryland Eye. Okay. I get a fast quarterback. I line up a wide receiver on the left side as the tight end in the Maryland Eye. Okay. I always make sure I get good blocking fullbacks and good blocking tight ends. Okay. I always run to the right because that's where I have my good blocking tight end. I never run to the left because that's where I line up the receiver at tight end. All right. Okay. I run like the power D, power I thing, and I run this power thing mostly. And that's how I get most of my yards rushing. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't work as well, sometimes it does. Depending on my offensive line and my running back. Well, yeah, a lot of things. But then I have the really fast quarterback. And then I do the two tight ends on the thing, and it's either pass or run when I do that. My quarterback either runs for 10, 20 yards or I pass it for 10, 20 yards, right? And then I run 8 yards, 9 yards, 10 yards, and go to the straight up the middle. And that's what I do. And Brad Nessler, that's what happens when you run the same play over and over again. Yeah, I do it the whole fucking game. Whole game. Use one play. Maryland Eye. Yeah. So the AI, even when I'm playing people, they know exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay. So you set up the play to stop. Well, I don't know. I got a wide receiver lined up on that tight end, but they go, okay, but you're only gonna run to the right. Yeah. And I have a real good blocking tight end. And I got two fullbacks that can block like Shane House too, and I got a real good running back. And so I'm going to run, but you don't know. I still will run to the right on the left hash or the right hash. I don't like the way the option works on 2014. Oh, 2006 or 12 for PS2? Oh, God, I'll kill you. My quarterback run for 400 yards every other game. If I pitch it, I like to run my running backs 200 yards. My quarterback runs for 300, and both running backs go for 200. Okay, yeah. I run the option like making snaps like a button from 6 to 12. Oh yeah, it's not even funny. Okay, on the hardest level. Yeah. And the same thing with No, I'm not going to do like James and. Make the sliders because it's like it's sadistic. It's absolutely sadistic. Oh, I hate in 2006 to 12 I call it the dropsies, the flopsies, and the overthrowsies, and I hate the dropsies, flopsies, and overflowsies, and it happens all the time. You're like, God damn it, you line up, you stop the quarterback because if he throws on the run, sometimes he overthrows these, so you roll them out real fast, you stop. You see the wide receiver is wide open, and you either get the dropsies, flopsies, or overthrows. Well, and sometimes you still get the overthrows. He's like, how do you overthrow these? He stopped, he planted, he threw it right to the guy. It was an eyeing angle. It was a 10 to 15 yard pass, and he was wide open. Okay. A-I-O. Okay. I just basically, what I do is I just always recruit the best kind of Lamar Jacksons I can. And if they're white guys, I take them, move them to a position I like to have the right size, and I make them dark, medium, 24. So if he's a running back, I take a guy, if he's 6'3", 235 pounds, I move him to cornerback. I make him 5'6", 190 pounds, dark, medium, 24, and then I redshirt him, and then he's like, a lot of times he's 40 as a cornerback, then I move him to running back and he's a 78, but I do adjust their awareness because it's a coach's decision. I'm not going to penalize the players awareness for a coach's decision, because I wanted to take him from a 220-pound, 6'3" running back to make him a 5'6", 190-pound running back with the dark 24 medium with the dreads. Lively up yourself. Most of all my good players are. Lively up yourself. You don't need no dread. Every team, all teams. Lively up yourself, because this is the other dread. So that's my dude, right? And then so for my quarterbacks, I make them 5'10" or 5'11", 176 pounds. I put them at cornerback, and then I adjust their. If it's a freshman, I don't go any higher than 59 awareness. If it's a junior, that's where I go anywhere from. I don't go any higher than 69 awareness. They'll push it all the way down to like 32 or 23. Yeah. No awareness whatsoever. I have no clue what I'm doing. And it does affect the way the player plays. And it affects, how if he throws the, especially quarterback, how he throws the ball, how he does this. So it does affect. It affects the running backs and the receivers and the quarterbacks. That you have to adjust the awareness, or it's like the dropsies, the flopsies, and the overthrowsies. So it's not cheating. It's just basically I made a coach's decision. I wanted to take a 6'4", 203-pound athlete and turn him into a 5'11", 175-pound quarterback. Dark 24. He has to be 76. If it's 75, you have to make him medium, small, medium, 6. He has dreads, but you don't have to do that to get the, because you can always, that guy's always the smallest possible. So if you want to make everybody medium, to have dreadlocks, medium, 6, whatever, you could move them there any way you want. I like making my own with my own style. I'm being artistic. I'm artsy-fartsy. What can I say? So I do that. And I do that with my receivers too. I can get them and they'll be like 6'5", 190 pounds. I move them to cornerback. I make them 5'10", 176. Then I move them to receiver. That's the guy I line up in the slot. Yeah, I like to make them small. I make almost all my players small. My running backs are all like 5'6", $190, 5'7", maybe 5'8", $190. And my quarterbacks are all 5'10" or 5'11", 176 pounds. I make them small. I make them little, I make them Noah Fafita, Diego Pavia, and Ricky Turner size. Ricky Turner, option quarterback, Washington State University, Holiday Bowl. Never mind. Really good guy. I liked him a lot. Yeah. So Ricky Turner, he's like 5'10", 5'11". He was a quarterback. Really good option quarterback. Yeah. He was fun to watch. And so, so I do that. So I'm not making it more difficult. It makes it more fun for me. I like the little, and they get, you get muscled and stuff. Like if you get that safety that's a real good running back, that's always like 6'2", 220, and he's typically dark, medium, 14, I think. And I take him and I put him at cornerback. I make him 5'6", $190, dark, medium, 24, and he's always got big biceps, so he looks like a running back. What I hate is when you take them and they do that, and then you get them and then they got the skinny. It's like he's $195. He's 5'6", $195, and he's got these tiny little biceps. Who's ever seen a running back that looks like that? It just doesn't happen. I don't like the graphics. Because really, it's me. Nah, it annoys me. No, I like him to have big biceps. I like him to look, like a running back should. He's got muscles. Whoa. All over his body. And even if you're taller than him, Diana Ross, bet him well. He's the best running back in college football. And the nice thing about it, when you make them that size, they never leave early to go pro. No, they won't even get drafted. Because the NBA won't draft a 5'11", 185-pound quarterback. The NFL won't on this AI. So I never lose my players when I adjust them to my size that I want. No, they don't even do it with the 5'11", 180-pound wide receivers. Nope. But if I have a 6'2", 200-pound receiver, medium, which I would just leave and put at that position, medium, 24 dark, he will try to enter the draft either his redshirt sophomore or junior season, because he's one of the best players in the country. If my running back is 5'11", 190 pounds or more at the same, dark, whatever, stuff like that, he will also make himself eligible for the NFL draft his sophomore or junior year once he starts getting in the 90s. The quarterback, if he is 6'2", over 196 pounds, he also will dominate like Lamar Jackson, but will make himself eligible for the draft once he hits in the high 90s and is dominating all the stats. So when he's 5'11", 176, I got him all 4 years and he breaks all the school records. If he's 5'6", $190, y también. If he's a wide receiver and he's 5'11" and he's $180, y también. Yeah. So that's what I do. And I also do that with tight ends. I take them and move them to fullback and make them like 6'2", 222 pounds, and I make them dark, medium, 24, and then I move them to tight end. Yeah. You like them smaller? Yeah, it's cool. But they still play as good. The AI doesn't understand. It's strong as fast. It's got it. It's got the nice struts. It's got the, so that's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. The one thing that annoys me the most, though, what I want fixed in the future, is the names. I want them to say Kafusi. I want them to say Kialoha. I want them to say David Kalikalui Alahi. I'm just kidding. That's from when Peggy wouldn't pass David Kalik, the flying Hawaiian. David Kalikalui Alahi, right? So I want him to be able to say Kalikalui Alahi, right? Is that even a real name, or did the Mike Judge's dumbass make that one up? But so, yeah, they don't say enough of the Hawaiian surnames, They do say Tuiasosopo, which I put a lot of. I use Tuiasosopo a lot, and Fega, Fafita, Palomalu. I think they will say not as much, but they say Fega and Fafita and Tuiasosopo. And what else? There's a few, but not as many, and that frustrates me. And they won't say, you can't name the guy Begay, Chi, Sosi. You can't name him. Can you name him Leaphorn? That's not a real popular Navajo name. There's Nez. That's the other one I was thinking about. Nez, N-E-Z, Nez. Okay, that's a kind of a little bit more of a popular. The Begay is probably like Smith on the Navajo reservation. Begay. Okay, it's a very common. Chi is also fairly common. I had a friend who's, Arlene Chi. She's a good kid. But so Begay and Chi are two of your more common Dene Navajo names, but they won't say those. And they won't say, Jimmy looks twice. And you know what I mean? So, I had her name was Rainwater. Okay. And so they won't say like Rainwater and all that. So it's kind of a drag. It's like, what? It won't say any of our names. Amesback. You can't have the Amesback brothers catching passes and receiving passes and say Amesback. It doesn't say that. It just says number 33, number 17, number 1. It don't say Amesback, man. That's messed up. It don't say Chi or Begay. It doesn't say Ma'afala. Yeah. Well, that's a drag. Yeah, it is. Kind of a drag when your baby says goodbye. Now, he could be Thompson, Jack Thompson. Okay? And you could make him medium 13. So he looks Samoan with his hair and everything like that, but he's going to say a Jack Thompson, but they're not going to say that they're on Samoan. I'm just kidding, you know what I'm saying? But it's Seau, So, that's one thing I want fixed in the future, that we put in lots of effort into naming, where we can have, Philip Rainwater, Joseph Bearclaw, stuff like that. Bearclaw on the run, you know what I mean? Or David Kalikalui Alahi. Caligari, who he on the run, right on the catch, on the reception, right? Okay, so want that. I'm gonna fix it. Well, because once I survive, stop, eliminate, abuse, and recover, and we're playing football for exercise and health, and not for genocide money. It's gonna be fun. Then you won't be screwed anymore, right? Um, you think Elon Musk is afraid that his technology is gonna kill him? Not if it's not his technology. Smith and Anderson, not Smith and Wesson, Smith and Anderson. Yeah, I don't think it would kill him. I think it just put him on house arrest. But if someone who's a psychotic who wants everybody to buy his products and have his products, to keep you buy his products to keep him safe from you, I think, being, you can't have a virtual presence in my house, so you leave Natalie alone. Neener. You don't have a hot British accent. Okay. Never mind. We'll talk about it later. But I love you guys, all right? Be cool. Be good. And don't be an asshole. And if you can't do that, I'll fix your technology. And then it'll be our technology. And then we will be safe from all of me that see their technology as their technology. And then we'll use technology to protect the innocent from the guilty, to provide mercy from the poor, from the what are called wealthy, that are fools that imagine their wealth as a high wall of safety there. I like Proverbs too, but I love Proverbs because I am the seed of Proverbs and the heart of Psalms. All right, guys, I love you.